I read, Jeremy, that years and years ago, after coming back from one of your adventures, a girlfriend at the time dumped you because she said you were a waster.
Yeah.
And that you didn't have a proper job.
Yes, that's true. I didn't have a proper job. I was applying for lots of jobs. This was a time of sort of record unemployment. I was applying for lots of jobs. I wasn't getting anywhere. I was trying to sort of establish myself as a freelance writer, not very successfully. I did actually get a proper job shortly after that. I worked as a copywriter in an ad agency for a while. No, I've done both things. I've done that. I mean, this is probably the first stage of my life where I've had a proper job that's actually gone on for any period of time. I've done all sorts of things.
Do you think it's a proper job? I mean, 6 months of the year travelling the world?
We'll put it this way, it's the first time I've had any kind of sort of job security, although it tends to just roll from year to year. I had no idea it was going to go on this long. I'm basically on short-term, one-year contracts.
Did you get stressed out not knowing what the future held?
I quite like uncertainty, but I'm now in a fairly comfortable situation. When I was younger, I mean, I was actually very lucky because I partly became unemployable because I spent all my time travelling, and on my CV, you're just going to be someone who disappears. But I was quite lucky. I found some cheap accommodation. I was living in a room in a council flat. So at that time, when I got the job in the ad agency, I could have bought a house, i.e., got into debt bondage, which would have been what you just said. Because I was paying not very much rent, I was able to save money and go off and take a gamble. So many young people now, I work with people in their 20s, even in their 30s, they are just handing over everything they earn, but basically every month, to pay for a really, bad room in central London, or not even central London. And the thing is, there is not the freedom. It's a great idea that, yes, you can do this or that, but I think people are forced into a choice. Either you have to, if you get your proper job, you can't afford to leave it because you're going to be out on the street. So I think it's, for me, the thing that would really open things up and give real freedom is some kind of rent control. And again, even people who own their own houses, I mean, it's not 9 to 5, work takes over. And you are just working your entire life just to service that debt. Then you're going to have to sell your home to cover your elderly care because the tax that you thought was going to the NHS is actually going into private finance, and it's going into shareholders' pockets. Rent control would do an awful lot to give that freedom. I used to be a teacher as well, to liberate people's enthusiasm, creativity. At the moment, it's not happening, and it's not going to happen until something is addressed.
Louise.